What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. I'm going to talk about the most underrated head coach in the NFL today, and it's Mike Tomlin. Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. First of all, he should be in the running for Coach of the Year. I think maybe the top two candidates right now are Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh and San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan. And Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin should be right there with him for head coach of the year. For coach of the year at the end of this season. He's 7-5 this year. And that's you say, okay, he's 7-5, that's nothing special, JB Sports. What you mean? He should be head coach of the year. Baltimore Ravens are 10-2 under John Harbaugh. And the San Francisco 49ers are 10-2 under Kyle Shanahan. Why should he be mentioned with those two guys as Coach of the Year candidates? Well, first of all, his quarterback got hurt early in the season, Ben Roethlisberger. Before the season, he lost his best receiver and his best running back as Le'Veon Bell went the free agent route, left and went to the New York Jets, and Antonio Brown was traded to the Oakland Raiders. So he lost his two best weapons on offense. Then the backup, James Conner, running back out of Penn State, got hurt early this year. James Conner was supposed to be the guy that takes the place of Le'Veon Bell. And a lot of people, based on last season, thought it wouldn't be that much of a drop-off. And James Conner had a real good year last year as Le'Veon Bell was not with the team holding out. And Juju Smith-Schuster had a great season as a number 2 option last year, playing alongside of Antonio Brown. A lot of people thought he would be able to step right in there. But it's different between, you're the number 1 receiver, you're getting the defensive undivided attention. A lot of times they're going to have not only a cornerback on you, but they're going to be having a safety rolling towards your side too. So you're going to have to beat a lot of double coverage. And then another thing you're going to have to do is you're going to be going against the other team's best corner. Last year, Antonio Brown was getting those best number 1 cornerbacks. This year, Schuster was getting those number 1 corners, and he didn't produce like he did last year. Then the backup quarterback behind Ben Roethlisberger, Mason Rudolph, came in there and stunk up the joint. It was horrible. Everybody want to talk about the incident with the Cleveland Browns, man, but he was playing a horrible game. And next week after that, he played against the Bengals, a winless team, and he played bad in that game, ended up getting benched. And here comes Delvin Hodges out of Samford University, not even a major college. And he's in there making plays and winning games. He came off the bench, expelled Mason Rudolph and rallied them to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And again today, they was able to defeat behind Delvin Hodges at the quarterback position. They were able to defeat the Cleveland Browns, a team that was much heralded coming into the season. Had OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. there. Had Jarvis Landry, who had some great seasons with Miami. Had Kareem Hunt coming in there. You had, Chubb, a big-time player at Georgia. SEC school, one of the best conferences in college football. They had a lot of talent on that side of the ball. Had a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball as they brought in a lot of big-time players. So they were the trendy pick to be the team that could make a lot of noise in the AFC. They were a lot of people picked to, be the main threat to the New England Patriots. But it turns out that they're sitting there in 3rd place looking up at the Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. So you got to give Mike Tomlin a great check mark, a great 5-star for what he's done with the Steelers this season, man. He's coached unbelievable, man. Like I said, he's got the 3rd string quarterback. The backup to the backup is in there as James Conner, who backed up Le'Veon Bell. He's hurt. He didn't play today. And Juju Smith-Schuster was out today. And he's, to me, on a championship level team, he's a number 2 receiver. He's forced into the number 1 role when they got rid of Antonio Brown. He was hurt today. So you going in there with the number 3 receivers, Washington and guys like that at the wide receiver position, and they were still able to beat the Cleveland Browns as they frustrated and harassed Baker Mayfield You know, a guy that's been on every commercial, NFL commercial. You know, this every time you look up, he's on the NFL commercial. Man, the guy was given the key to the city he he should have been given that key to the city, man. Key to the NFL before he should have been given that. The guy hadn't proven nothing. He had a half a good year with the Cleveland Browns and rallied them, and they almost finished 500. But it wasn't like the guy. When you looked at Baker Mayfield, he was not the head of the young quarterback crop coming into this season. I did not rate him ahead of Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, of those quarterbacks of that ilk. So for him to being given those, Mahomes doing commercials, but Mahomes got an MVP trophy at his house. So he's well earned that he's doing these videos. But Baker Mayfield hadn't proved anything on the football field to be given that his just due as far as being the NFL marketing golden child, doing all these commercials and putting all this money, thinking he was going to be the next great NFL passer, to take that torch from Brady and Aaron Rodgers. They gave that torch to Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield. They got it half right. Gave it to Patrick Mahomes. They probably should gave the other torch to Deshaun Watson. But that's neither here nor there, man. Mike Tomlin is doing an unbelievable job, man. He's had an unbelievable career, man. When he's retired from coaching, man, he should be getting ready to get fitted for that yellow jacket. He should be going into the Hall of Fame, Canton, Ohio. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people I've heard on a lot of talk shows, oh, man, they need to get rid of Mike Tomlin, man. He can't get him over the hump. The man went to 2 Super Bowls in the first 4 seasons as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me repeat that. The man went to 2 Super Bowls in his first 4 seasons. One of them beat the Arizona Cardinals in a great Super Bowl matchup, one of the best Super Bowl games in Super Bowl history, as he brought him, Ben Roethlisberger brought him from behind in the waning moments to defeat the Arizona Cardinals. I think it was beat him on a touchdown pass to pull ahead and beat a very strong, high-powered offense in the Arizona Cardinals led by Kurt Warner and those guys, man. So he won that game, and then went back in that same span, that 4-year span, went back after that and played the Green Bay Packers in another great Super Bowl matchup, and they came very close. Had the ball with a chance to win the game and give Mike Tomlin his second Super Bowl ring, but the Green Bay Packers defense stood up and was able to stop the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. The Green Bay Packers were able to win that game 31-26 in another great Super Bowl game. So he was at 2 Super Bowls. He went to 2 Super Bowls in his first 4 seasons. His record is 138, 78, and 1. 8-7 in the playoffs. That's his record in the playoffs, 8-7. So he's 130, 71, and 1 in the regular season, and 138 and 78 and 1 in the overall. So he's 8-7 in the playoffs. 8-7 in the playoffs. I know a lot of people say JB Sports. A lot of I know you're watching this video. Say, wait a minute, JB Sports. He was 8-7 in the playoffs. That's nothing special. Yeah, but 2 of those losses was against Bill Belichick, who is the greatest head coach in NFL history. And both of those, one of them games was in Pittsburgh when they had the bus, and I think Roethlisberger was a rookie. They lost to Tom Brady when they was trying to win their 3rd Super Bowl. That was the last time they had Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel. A lot of those coaches was getting ready to leave to be head coaches. So that was their last great run of that coaching staff. And Pittsburgh Steelers lost to them at home in the AFC Championship game. And then they lost about here recently, I guess around I guess it was about 3 years ago. They lost to the Patriots in Foxborough, and they got beat bad in that game. I think it was 33-9. Tom Brady torched them. Couldn't get anything going on offense with the weapons they had, and Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. That's when they were clicking on all cylinders at that time. And they was able to they could produce in that game. So he lost to the greatest coach in NFL history. That's what I kind of say when I do videos about other players that they try to talk about. I did an NBA video yesterday about James Harden. People want to say James Harden can't produce in the clutch and he doesn't play well in the playoffs, but they fail to realize that he lost twice to a NBA juggernaut in Golden State Warriors, a team that is going to go down as one of the greatest teams in NBA history. They don't want to take all that into account. Sometimes it's about when you come along, man. What's your competition level? You know, who are you beating to get to a certain level? All that's got to come into play, and that's the same thing goes with Mike Tomlin, man. We lost twice to the New England Patriots. New England Patriots won 6 Super Bowls in this era. So he's going against a juggernaut, but it doesn't take away from the fact that he's a great coach. You know, a lot of times they mention when they do mention great coaches, obviously they mention Bill Belichick and Sean Payton with New Orleans, but they never bring Mike Tomlin up. Kind of like when they talked about the great quarterbacks, they always talk about Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, never mention Drew Brees. Drew Brees a lot of times got lost in that argument of who was the best. He should have been right there with those top 2 guys as the greatest quarterbacks of this era. Same thing with Mike Tomlin. He's going to hopefully get his just due. You know, that's why I'm doing this video, man. A guy has got the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-5. They're the 6th seed in the AFC playoffs. If the playoffs started today, they will make the playoffs with a 3rd-string quarterback, running back hurt, James Conner, number 1 wide receiver this season, and Juju Schuster is hurt, and doing it with bunch of guys that are not star-level players. He's doing a hell of a job. This is his best coaching job of his career, even better than the 2 Super Bowl teams. I gotta rate this coaching job even better than those teams, because those teams were loaded, had a lot of talent, and they were predicted in a lot of different circles to get to Super Bowl. Those teams, they were able to meet expectation. But this team here came into the season this year with strong expectations, but it got ravaged by injuries. And now they're doing it with a 3rd-string quarterback, backup running back, and number 3 receiver making plays for him in James Washington. So you got to give Mike Tomlin a lot of credit. Defense is rising up. You know, they got a good, they've improved their secondary. They've got Haywood leading the D-line. They got some good linebackers that they drafted well in the last couple of drafts. So they got, their talent is on the defensive side of the football this year. And that goes contrary to the years they went to the Super Bowl under Mike Tomlin, as they was very heavily offensive team. Had good defenses, but they were a team that was identity was high-powered offense under the guidance of Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. Now that just lets you know what kind of great coach he is. He can adjust to his talent level. He said, "Look, I got a real good defense. So what I'm gonna do now that I got a 3rd-string quarterback is I'm gonna run the ball, play a field position game, play good on special teams, and let my defense make plays." And this defense has made plays, man. They brought in the cornerback from Miami Dolphins that went to Alabama. I think his name is Fitzpatrick. Brought him in. He's made a lot of plays. I think he had, like, when he first got there to the Steelers, he had like 3 or 4 interceptions in like 2 games. He made a huge impact with the Steelers, and you know, so they've made him a big time player that's probably gonna end up going to the Pro Bowl this year. They've got real good corners, and they got the other cornerback that they brought in from the Cleveland Browns. He came in last year. He's played good this year. He got an interception today against the Cleveland Browns. So they've done a real good job on the defensive side of the ball, man. Now they've got to finish this thing out. Got 4 more games to go. They got 1 with Baltimore. They got to go to Baltimore. They're through with Cleveland. They got 1 with Cincinnati at home, and they got 2 more other games. But if they can finish strong and get in the playoffs, man, I think this would be definitely would be Mike Tomlin's best coaching job, best coaching job of his coaching career at the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. No doubt about that. No doubt. Like I said, even better than the 2 Super Bowl teams that he coached. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what's transpired, man. I just want to give Mike Tomlin his just due, man. Doing a hell of a job with the Pittsburgh Steelers. There are a lot of people left them for dead when they had those injuries and stuff like that. They were under 500, but he's able to rally the team and get those teams to play at their optimum level. And you see the results right now. 7-5, man, 6th seed in the AFC. And if he's able to hold on to that 6th spot, man, he definitely should get some strong consideration for Coach of the Year, along with John Harbaugh and Kyle Shanahan. And even if they don't hold on, you know, you got Tennessee right there, 7-5. Right there, they got a battle. You got the Colts right there at 6-6. Even if they don't hold on to the and get the 6th seed, just for the fact that they are in it right now, got the 6th seed, they have no business. If you look at their roster compared to other teams that they're going to be battling with for the playoffs, they shouldn't be nowhere near the 6th seed based on their roster. But it just gives the credit to what credit's due to the players. Number one, for playing and stepping up and making plays, not saying, well, man, we had a lot of injuries. It's just not our year. We're just going to hope for the best, but it's just not going to happen this year. They've manned up, and they like, look here, man, next man up. We got these guys hurt, but that doesn't mean that we don't have the guys in the locker room that can still get the job done. And that's what the Steelers have done. And Mike Tomlin, as the voice in that locker room, has told those guys, hey, man, I need you to be the best you. I don't need you to be no heroes around here. Be the best you. Do what you can do. Play to your optimum level, and we're going to be just fine, man, because we got a winning culture here, and we got a winning program here, and if everybody pulling that rope in the same direction, man, at the end of the season, we're going to all be happy, and that's what Mike Tomlin has preached to this team, man. He's a great motivational speaker. A lot of people don't give him credit for being a great X's and O's guy. They think he's just basically letting his coordinators call the shots on the offense and defense side of the ball, and the special teams coach call the special teams, and he kind of oversee it. But he the ones that is during the week implementing the game plan, coaching the coaches. That's what the head coach does. Getting those 53 guys ready to go to battle each and every Sunday. And that's just what he's doing. He's doing it at a high level, man. It's time for him to get his just due. And to me, this is his finest season. This is his finest hour, as he's got an injury-ravaged team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, at 7-5 and in the wild card hunt, and currently is the 6th seed in the AFC playoffs. And the playoffs start today. They would be going to the Houston Texans and playing them in the first round of the wild card round in the playoffs. So give the man his credit. Give the credit his credit. Let him smell the roses while he's alive, while his coaching career is alive. I don't mean just figuratively alive, but let him smell don't give him his roses after he retired, after he's left the NFL coaching circles. Give him his credit right now, because he's going to definitely get fitted for that yellow jacket in Canton, Ohio, as a Hall of Famer inductee. If you agree with what I'm saying, leave your comments in the comment section. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, leave your comments in the comment section. But we're going to, but I'm just going to give the man the credit what's credit's due, man. Great win, beating the Cleveland Browns 20-13. And they're live and kicking, man, as far as the playoffs. Follow me on Instagram, JB Sports The Man. Follow me on Twitter, JB Sports 713. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Holla.